I've seen a few chess players been signed already, and I guess now it's my turn.
Welcome to this Beyond the Board episode where we're going to cover the big breaking news. The world's best chess player, Magnus Carlsen, has signed with Team Liquid, who placed second in the club championship at the Esports World Cup 2024. Chess will be a part of the EWC for the first time in 2025, with 16 players competing in rapid chess without increment for a total prize fund of $1.5 million. And the world number one is not the only one who has signed with Liquid. The team will have an incredibly strong chess lineup with both Magnus Carlsen and world number 4, Fabiano Caruana. We're going to hear from the CEO at Team Liquid and the CEO for the Esports World Cup. And the CEOs are really turning up for work today because right now in the Take sofa is our CEO Mats together with Magnus Carlsen.
Big news, Magnus. How does it feel to be part of an esport team?
Yeah, it feels really good. Obviously, with the chess being part of the Esports World Cup, I was excited to see that if the esports organizations would be going after chess players, seeing as there are significant prizes for the teams, and I've seen a few chess players been signed already, and I guess now it's my turn.
Congratulations! And as a casual gamer myself, Team Liquid is actually the only team that I had heard of before, so I think that's awesome. It's Team Liquid. So what is your ambitions going into this? What do you want to achieve for Team Liquid?
Well, Team Liquid, as you said, Team Liquid is all about winning, and that's what I intend to do. Yeah, I think it's fantastic that chess is now a part of the Esports World Cup, and it's a big step for us and a big step for a lot of chess players. But my first and foremost goal is to win, of course.
And last year, Team Liquid was second place, right? So I guess that's part of the motivation for them to sign you as well, to take that first place.
Yeah, as I said, I really hope I can help them as much as I can.
So this will be an arena with spectators. It will be the biggest stage for chess.
Yeah, it's going to be rapid chess, no increment. A little bit of a change of pace for sure. But it's really exciting. Like we've experimented a little bit with formats in the CCT finals last year and also the Speeches Championship finals. So I think that's where we should be heading with faster chess, and yeah, this is a great step.
And being an esport, then I assume the mouse skills is increasingly more important in this format.
Well, I still think that it's sort of a secondary skill, of course, but yeah, I'll definitely hope.
Practice the.
Like I've made a number of mouse slips actually designing games in the CCT in previous seasons, so that's something I gotta clean up there.
And now we have a team to help you with that. So you will be joined with by another chess player in Team Liquid, Fabiano Caruana.
Yeah, obviously Fabiano is one of the very best players in the world, and it's great for our team. Only one score counts for the team, so I'm hoping that's going to be mine. But we'll certainly have two players competing.
So, Magnus, do you follow any other esports?
I must admit that, like, I am an avid follower of Twitch and YouTube gaming stuff, but it's like mostly chess. So I'll be certainly looking forward to following things a bit more during the EWC. But for now, I have a lot to learn.
Ready to learn from the esports professionals, Magnus Carlsen is taking chess onto a new path. And Magnus and Fabi, they're not the only players who have signed for esports teams. We also know that the Indian youngster Arjun Erigaisi, world number 5, has signed with Gen G, and that the French grandmaster Maxime Vagelegra will play for Team Vitality. But so far there is no news that the winner of the club championship last year, Team Falcons, have signed a chess player, which is good news for Team Liquid, because their biggest goal this year is to take home the goal in the club championship. And I've had a chat with the CEO at Team Liquid, Steve, the man who signed Magnus Carlsen. Congratulations on the big news, signing the GOAT of chess to your team.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm also very excited that this news will be dropping. You know, having Magnus and Fabi join Team Liquid is just honestly a dream come true. So it's finally happening.
It's so cool. And we're going to talk about Fabiano Caruana as well, who was announced Thursday. But the most recent news is that Magnus Carlsen will be playing for Team Liquid. And when the news broke that chess would become a part of the Esports World Cup, how hungry were you to sign the best player in the world?
I mean, obviously very hungry. So the thing is that for folks that don't know, Team Liquid, we're one of the largest and most successful esports organizations in the entire world. We have won more championships than any other team, and we have won in all of the most important esports. And so as chess was announced as part of the Esports World Cup, we knew we needed to come in strong and win. And of course, we're going to go after the GOAT. So, you know, I got an introduction, and we were able to set up a call, and we negotiated for quite some time, but I'm just so glad that everything worked out. So we had our eyes on Magnus, and I'm glad it worked.
What did you actually know about him from before?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely knew of his notoriety within the chess scene. We knew that he had been dominating from a competitive perspective. And as of late, you know, we're aware of kind of his sentiment that he shared around the direction that chess takes moving forward, and maybe some of the recent opinions of how that could happen. I think, you know, just in watching the freestyle event that's been happening over the last, couple weeks, you know, moving chess into a new direction where there's still a ton of respect for classical chess, but that we can also perhaps bring some more spectator qualities that will drive more viewership around chess. And whether that's in more of the freestyle formats or the EWC format, which is the 10+0 format. So, you know, I think for us, we're really excited about that, because in our world, we're all about other people watching other people play video games. You know, that's our business. That's what we've built over the last 25 years. So for us to see chess move into that direction is very exciting, and we want to be part of that alongside the biggest and most successful players in the world.
Love to hear that. And now you also signed the American Fabiano Caruana, currently world number 4. Why was he as well a good fit for Team Liquid?
Yeah. Obviously, his track record competitively was very important. It was interesting. I guess one of the benefits of Team Liquid is that our brand has been built to a point where the best players in the world want to play for the organization. And so we were able to field calls with many of the top chess players. And it was over the holiday break, actually, and I jumped on many calls. And actually, I did a call with Fabi on Christmas Eve. And I kind of fell in love with him a little bit, you know? You know, we were just chatting, and I think we had like a 2-hour call or something.
Wow.
And my family's in the other room, and, and like my brother came and he's like, where are you? And I'm like, just give me a minute. You know, like, I'm having a great call with Bobby. You know, he's just, I don't know, there's something like endearing about his pursuit of excellence um, and the manner in which he carries himself. And I think there was a lot of alignment in values and goals. And so I really enjoyed that. And then after that conversation, I was like, okay, we got to get this done. Let's work on principal terms and move things forward. So yeah, that's really the honest answer. And, you know, I think the format for EWC, it's a new format. You know, we don't really know what will happen. There's a lot of RNG, as we would say, in the gaming world, or variants. But yeah, I think Fabi will perform really well.
100%. He's showing great form nowadays, and I just love how you describe his pursuit for excellence. And Steve, I've been attending many chess tournaments in my years as a sports journalist, and it's very classy, but it's very silent. The players are wearing suits. What can Magnus and Fabi expect when they enter that stage in Riyadh for the Esports World Cup? It must be very different from what they're used to.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, esports has really pulled my heart into a world of competitiveness around video games. You know, you've got the kind of blunders, but you also have the kind of moments where you're cheering, where somebody just five heads the other player, and you know everyone just kind of goes nuts. There's a lot of enthusiasm. There's a lot of passion for the sport, and you see that through the cheers and the chants and all of the commentary online. And you know, there's huge viewership for these events.
Yeah.
Esports globally is a powerhouse. I mean, there was 110 million viewers for the League of Legends World Championship just a few months ago, which was held in London at the O2 Arena, which was sold out in 2 minutes. I mean, we have a really passionate, large global community around these events, and and with that comes pressure, and so it will be a new playing field, a new vibe. But I think that also brings a lot of opportunities for chess within esports. You know, we have over the last, I'd say, 15 years or so, been able to pioneer partnerships and sponsorships with huge, big brands. The commercialization is there, the audience is there, and you know, with this kind of format with chess, I'm really hopeful that brands, you know, are able to see that, you know, and then that can help feed the ecosystem for tournament organizers and players, and kind of lead to more resources for the entire chess scene.
Yeah. I know, Steve, that you're also, very much involved in the business aspect of all of this. Do you think chess will be, popular among the sponsors?
Absolutely. I already know it is. So, it was kind of interesting. Like we had to kind of like embargo the news about Magnus and Fabi to all of our current partners. And we reached out to all of them and we were like, look, we're getting into chess. And there was enthusiasm, excitement from our partners, IMC, which is one of our partners. They were like, oh my God, this is incredible. Like, can we have them come to our offices and play with our staff and stuff? And, Coinbase, they've done a lot in the chess scene previously as well. And so, yeah, there's already excitement, and I think we're just getting started. So I think it will lead to great things for both players and also tournament organizers that currently operate outside of the Esports World Cup as well.
Yeah, fantastic. And you also described sort of the crowd that's watching the Esports World Cup and all the spectators, the fans of esports. Do you think they will appreciate chess sort of now becoming an esport as well?
Look, the jury's out officially, but my personal take is absolutely. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at esports fans, they have like shared interests in certain other categories, and chess is absolutely one. And we have seen that in the demographics and viewership on Twitch when we run our reporting, and I think there is an appreciation for that. I think a lot is going to come down to format. It's just a very different game when you watch classical chess versus watching a 10+0, and there's a lot of debate on whether or not that's going to be more or less exciting. But I think it will be more, and I think there'll definitely be a great subset of esports fans that will really appreciate this. And and just in watching the freestyle event, I felt that a little bit. Like you see the bar. What is that bar called?
The eval bar.
Yeah, the eval bar. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
still learning.
I love the eval bar, Steve. That's the thing that tells me whether it's a goal, right?
Yeah, and it's like swinging back and forth, because there's just so much variance, and I think that brings a lot of excitement to the game. So I appreciate that as a spectator aspect.
Will Magnus and Fabi actually meet with their other, team members at Team Liquid? Yeah. Will there be training camps? I don't know. Can they actually train together, help each other, take advantage of each other's strengths?
Yeah, I hope so. Part of me is like, I have a little bit of reservation because they're both so good. Like I don't want to interrupt like their flow and their, they obviously are great for a reason. And so I don't want to do anything that would affect their greatness. I'm kind of curious, I want to ask Fabi and Magnus, like, do you guys plan on like working together a little bit now that your teammates going to the Esports World Cup, or stay competitors? I'm curious, actually. Maybe a question for Magnus. But I think that time will tell. I don't want to force anything, but at the same time, we do have a lot of resources available to them.
And I mean, this is going to be the biggest event on the chess calendar. It's definitely the biggest prize fund in 2025. It's taking chess into a little bit of a new but very exciting path, and it's clear that Magnus Carlsen is very excited about it. Now, Steve, we can see behind you some awesome trophies and some really cool pictures. We know that Team Liquid is a super successful team, so much success, but you came second, right, in the club championship at the Esports World Cup in 2024. How much do you guys want to beat the Falcons this year?
Really bad. Okay, that's the short answer. Absolutely. I mean, we are built to win. We put a lot into increasing the probability associated with winning, and we've done a pretty darn good job of winning over the last 25 years. Yeah. So yes, we were, of course happy with second place, but not really as happy as we could be. And so going into this year for the Esports World Cup, we have put the pieces in play to really go for a first place finish. And yeah, I can't wait, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Last year, I spent over a month in Riyadh, and the facilities were fantastic. It was top notch, kind of accommodations for players and teams, and the event was a huge success in terms of viewership. So can't wait to go back, and this time, we're going for gold.
Going for gold with the golden boy, Magnus Carlsen, on his team. It's going to be so cool to see chess up on that stage in Riyadh for the Esports World Cup. And I've also had a chat with Ralph, who's the CEO for the WC.
I think, first and foremost, all games are technically, historically, over-the-board games, right?
Good point.
If you think about it, like almost technically, after human beings had enough food and fire and shelter, they started to play, right? And their play was for fun, and mostly without a goal other than having fun. And then they added rules to it, which became games. And the first ones were actually dice, right? So some of the first foundings in the history of humankind were, dice made out of bones. And that was the origin of gaming, to be honest. And then sport becomes out of such a game when you build structure and competition and winner and some long-term incentives around it. And, therefore, as the next step, then these games became digitalized. The first ones were like Pong and very simple, traditional, almost, physical or board games. And then, chess obviously went that same way. And with chess.com, it became an internet phenomena, and therefore for us clearly identifies as a video game to start with. And to bring both of these worlds together is probably because the Esports World Cup has this unique format where the clubs compete across all of these different game disciplines, and we build it at a scale that no other esports tournament has done before, right? We had 22 games and 23 competitions in year one. And therefore, it was almost logical to look at more non-traditional games to grow it for 2025. The other aspect to it is, and you guys know this better than I do, that chess has been one of the fastest growing sports on the internet, both as a game to be participated in as well as people watched it, right? With Gotham Chess and Magnus and all these things going on YouTube, there's just a rapidly growing viewership interest. So bringing these three worlds together, the video game side of chess, the growth and success of it as a viewership sport, and the club ecosystem, which is the center of the Esports World Cup, just felt super logical. And you tell me, but reception seems to be good so far.
Oh, 100%. And I want to ask you, Ralph, like for the chess fans who are used to seeing their favorite players play either, over the board in kind of silent classic tournaments, or maybe they play online, but then they're mostly sitting at home. What can they expect when these favorite players now will be on that stage in Riyadh?
So I think I can't tell you because right, we will release the actual setting and the hopefully innovation we do and everything around it when the tournament is going on. But I think what's going to be very, very different in a cool way, and what I think in traditional sports really only the Olympics bring, is the mixture and mingling of the best athletes in the world in video games. So what you're going to see is all these chess players hanging out, A, with the other players from their teams, and B, we had last year 1,500 athletes there. This year, it's going to be a significant amount more. And we will see all of these players in an environment they haven't had before, mingling and intersecting and cross-pollinating with all these other athletes. And then hopefully, and we've seen that last year as well, cheering for each other, going to the different disciplines and so on and so forth, which you just don't see in many traditional sports or have never seen in esports as well.
Fantastic. I mean, I've seen a lot of video footage from the first Esports World Cup that was in 2024, like fireworks, so much cheering, so much happening. And can you give us just a few facts, like how big is this, how many different tournaments, how many participants, the prize fund overall, how big is that? How many spectators can we expect?
Sure. I mean, look, let's start with the numbers. This is the simple thing for me, right? We had 500 million viewers from all over the world.
Whoa.
We had 8 weeks of competition in 22 different disciplines. We had 1,500 athletes. We had 2.6 million visitors to the boulevard. So you need to think about this as a whole district of the city where this is happening. And what is happening there, to go a little bit for the content, we had 3 big arenas to deal with. We will have more next year, this year, not next year. And there's a huge gaming and esports festival connected to it. $60 million prize pool we had across all competitions last year, which we'll announce soon on how much it's going to be this year. But this altogether is what you can expect, and I think that is pretty unique.
We're a few months away from the Esports World Cup 2025, with chess now becoming a part of that stage. And you talk about the festival, these many, many different tournaments, like an Olympic Games kind of situation. Can you just give us a little bit of that feel? What can the chess fans expect when chess enters the stage? What is the feel like at the Esports World Cup?
So I think, I'd argue almost esports generic, right? What we're trying to do is actually two things at the same time. I mean, number one, when we started this whole thing 20, 25 years ago, I think we followed almost like an American sports model, where it's really about the entertainment and about creating a show and creating something interesting for players to watch, for fans to watch. Sorry. So it's really more of a spectator mode environment which we're trying to build. And the other thing is what you see when you come to the country. Not many people from the chess community have been to Saudi, I assume, right? There's no big chess tournaments yet. Is actually a country which is incredibly hospitable. So people are unbelievably nice and very, very helpful. Very different than the media framing is.
Yeah.
And number two, it's a country that's very proud of the Esports World Cup. So it's all of these things. When you landed in 2024, your mobile network was called Mobile Esports World Cup, right? If you come to the airport, your flight tickets will be Esports World Cup branded. So this only happens to the largest sports events in the world, that a whole country, a whole city is 100% behind that and is almost exclusively branded Esports World Cup. I've only had that feeling in the Football World Cup as an example. And this is what you feel, what you get. And being then around the boulevard, which I said where the tournament is happening, being in the city, you're part of a larger community. And that's what I think people were very surprised with, the scale that it was done. And that's what we are incredibly proud of and happy for people to enjoy.
And I guess you mentioned it also. I guess there will be questions also from the chess community now entering this world, with it being hosted in Saudi Arabia, with controversies around human rights in that nation. So how do you answer sort of that criticism or skepticism, maybe more?
Look, we had hundreds of thousands of fans coming last year. And if there would have been a single negative incident, I'm sure you would have heard about it. So don't take my word for it, right? Take the word for the people who came to visit it. And I can guarantee that everyone will have a very good experience. And as much as Saudi is a young country and still has things to adapt and bring to, it is incredibly fast moving and has proven itself to be a safe place and be a good place to be.
Well, no doubt in terms of sports, it's going to be super cool when chess now officially becomes an e-sport. It's all going to happen in Riyadh in the summer of 2025. The road to Riyadh for the chess players, it starts already now with the Champion Chess Tour functioning as qualification. The first tournament starts on February 16th. We still have a lot of cool news coming ahead with more chess players signing for those esports teams, so stay tuned for more from Take, and thank you for watching.